Yes, yes, there are many, many stories about this special holiday named Christmas. If you look in this book alone, you will find lots of them. Oh, yes, here we are. This is today's story. It's a delightful Christmas story. Everything happens somewhere far, far in the north in a small little town. Our story takes place in an orphanage with some children and a pine tree. The orphaned children lived under the control of the evil rules of a lady named Mrs. Mavilda. The little ones were always forced to do heavy work by the wicked woman. The children never had toys, new clothes, or anything. But they had a friend. The pine tree they named Mrs. Hopewell. Yes, Hopewell, because the kids believed that the tree was magical. It somehow was going to bring them a mom and a dad to adopt and take them away from the unbearable Mrs. Mavilda. Mrs. Mavilda was a very tricky person. She didn't really take good care of the children, but she made people think she did. For example, she had a pretty dress with bows and lace and a new pair of pants and a sweater to put on whichever child she was going to show off to the mayor. This way, every time the mayor came by, he always thought that Mrs. Mavilda was taking good care of her children. But after he left a donation collected by the townspeople for the orphanage, Mrs. Mavilda would immediately take off the child's clothes and put them away in a closet for the mayor's next visit. Poor children. Once more the victims of her numerous selfish tricks. She used all that donated money in an irresponsible way. She would have her nasty friends over and gamble all night long, while laughing and drinking and playing cards. There goes the children's bread for the week, so said Mrs. Mavilda, laughing with her friends every time she played a hand. Many times the children went to bed without food for one reason or another. For example, if she caught them sneaking in the street dog, whom the children named Licorice. Poor Licorice. He was a fine dog, but he was as abandoned as the children were. Well, let's begin our story now. Everything starts when a couple arrives in town seeking a better life. The people in town recommended they go to the city mayor for help. The mayor told the good man that he would offer him a job at the lumber mill, but for a period of time, he would have to live in the boarding house without his family. The mayor also said that he would arrange for the man's wife and children to stay at the orphanage, where they could get room and board. She could become Mrs. Mavilda's assistant.
Oh, you.
We come from the mayor's.
I know. The mayor just called.
I'd better go now. Take good care of yourself and the children, Judy. I will be back before Christmas.
Don't worry, Ray. We're going to do just fine. You take care of yourself, too.
Goodbye, children. Be good.
Can we go now? Here is your room. This is the only thing I can do for you.
This is just fine, ma'am. I can put that old mattress on the floor for the children, and we will be just fine.
Hold it! Don't think your children are going to have special treatment here. They're going to stay with the other children and under the same rules and regulations.
I'm sorry.
Come, children. Follow me. Another thing. You have to get up at 7, prepare breakfast, feed the children at 8, then clean and wash. Don't forget dinner at 6 so the children will be in bed by 7:30. I don't want to see any children out of their beds. I repeat, no children walking around after 7:30. And you can spend some time with your children after you finish all your chores. But only half an hour and no more. The other children have to sleep, you know.
Don't worry about a thing, ma'am. I will do everything you say.
This is going to be your bedroom. I want you to make sure you have your feet clean so you won't dirty the sheets. No clothes on the floor. No fights of any kind. I don't want to hear anybody crying around here. And most of all, no pillow fights. You understand? Because if you think that you're not going to be punished because you have your mother here, you're going to be mighty disappointed. You get the same treatment as them. Remember that. More children. That's just what I needed.
Want to hold my teddy bear? No, Lily. My teddy bear has only one arm. But my mom says Santa will bring a new arm for him at Christmas. It's my turn. Let me hold it now.
Oh, there you are.
Mommy, come here and see Mrs. Hopewell.
Where is she? I can't see her.
Over there, Mommy.
Where? Why are you guys giggling?
Mrs. Hopewell is a tree. That tree. She takes care of us.
When I'm scared, I think about her branches like arms holding me. Then it makes me feel better.
I wish I could read so I could read her a story from this old book that I found. I know she'd like it. I wish she could read stories to me. Someday, Mrs. Hopewell is going to bring us a mom and a dad to take Licorice and us to a happy home.
Licorice? Now who's Licorice? A dog? I didn't know we had a dog.
Shh! Don't say that loud, Mommy. Mrs. Mavilda doesn't like him in here.
Oops. Well, children, if Mrs. Mavilda doesn't want him in here, we shouldn't have him in here.
I knew we should have never shown him to your mother. Adults are always the same, always ruining everything. Poor Licorice, you better go outside. It's cold out there. He's going to catch a cold.
All right, all right. He can stay. I just have to pretend I don't know anything about you, big fella. But you need just a little something. There you are, boy. Now you're not a stray anymore.
Look, Licorice, now the dog catcher isn't going to bother you anymore. Now we have to do something for Mrs. Hopewell, too.
I've got an idea. Let's make Mrs. Hopewell more fun to be around. Help me get that pile of wood around her.
Who built that?
Me and...
Let me tell you something here, girl. You don't have time for that kind of thing. You're here to do your work first, not that nonsense.
But I have finished my work first. I did that on my spare time.
Did you finish washing?
Yes.
Ironing?
Yes.
And what about cleaning?
Yes, the entire house, including the windows and waxing the floor.
You may go now.
So the day went by, and they spent more time together.
Yeah, they really are getting along. She seems to be a fine woman.
Judy learned about how important that tree was for the children. The children had never been so happy. They really developed a special feeling towards Judy and a relationship of trust and love. And Mrs. Mavilda continued receiving donations from the mayor. Little did he know that the money was destined to pursuits other than bettering the lives of the children.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The children and I thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Mrs. Mavilda, as usual, uses the money for her personal pleasure.
Here goes the children's money again.
So our story continues. Time goes by. Soon autumn came. Then the winter. Then Christmas time arrived.
Mrs. Mavilda, I have good news. This year I've collected more money for the children's Christmas. I've got enough money here to get the children new clothes. And still some left for their Christmas presents. Here you go, Mrs. Mavilda. Here's the 2 bags. One for the clothes, one for the presents. I'm glad those poor little things aren't going to have to spend another winter in patches and rags. By the way, where's Judy? Oh, Mrs. Kindle, good that you're here. I just gave Mrs. Mavilda the money there so she can buy new clothes for the children. Something nice for Christmas. I've been noticing that the children have become very fond of you, so I think you'd be the right person for me to ask this favor. Would you mind helping Mrs. Mavilda pick out some nice clothes for the children? You know what they might like. What do you say?
I'd be more than honored, Mr. Mayor.
Good. I gotta be going now. Good day, ladies.
Thanks once again, Mr. Mayor. You have been very kind.
Don't mention it.
I've got to tell the children the good news.
Frank? Mavilda, do you feel lucky tonight? Good, darling, because we're going to have a game tonight. Come over at 8 o'clock. And don't forget the champagne. I'll see you later then.
And soon, we're all going to have new clothes. But remember, you should thank Mr. Mayor for it. Oh, maybe if there's some money left over, I can convince Mrs. Mavilda to buy some red velvet. That way I can make some Christmas stockings to hang on the fireplace.
Red velvet? For stockings? What's that?
Don't you know about Christmas stockings that you hang on the fireplace for Santa Claus to fill? You don't? Which one of you knows about Christmas?
I do.
I don't. I know you do, Pappy. Christmas, well, let me tell you about it. Christmas is a pretty and happy time of the year. A time when people get together. Friends with friends, children with their parents and grandparents, all together. People go out and buy their Christmas tree.
Christmas tree? What's that?
It's a tree that's like Mrs. Hopewell.
Like her?
Yes, just like her, but not as tall because we have to place it in the living room. I guess you've never seen a Christmas tree before.
Let's roll, kids. I'm feeling lucky tonight.
He's not anybody's grandpa. Maybe he is a grandpa, all right. Santa Claus is everybody's grandpa.
And how can his sleigh fly?
Because he has special reindeer to pull it, and each one has his own special name.
That's right, children. Say, you know Santa lets every good boy and girl make a wish for Christmas.
Really? Mrs. Mavilda never told us that.
Well, it's true. But you know you have to make a simple wish because Santa has to make toys and other presents for all the children of the world.
Yes, and he's busy all year. Mommy, can I be the first one to make a Christmas wish?
Sure you can, honey. But think hard before you do.
You lost, Mavilda.
Let's have another hand.
I wish my little teddy bear had his other arm. How is Santa gonna do that?
Santa can do anything.
I always feel so sorry for him. See, Teddy, Santa is gonna help you. How come you're wishing for that? I want a bike.
I want a brand new doll with pink ribbons in her hair.
Wait a minute, children. You have to settle down. How is Santa going to know which toy to bring to which one of you if you all wish at the same time? Now, let's do this one at a time. You, Sarah, you go next. Tell us what you want Santa to bring you.
All or nothing.
Are you crazy?
Mavilda!
That's right, Mavilda. Now you're cooking with gas.
Now that I know all your wishes, I'm going to write Santa Claus a letter and send it.
To the North Pole?
Oh, no. I can't believe I lost again.
Well, you beat me.
Well, Helen, dear?
What do you think, Mavilda?
No! No! No, 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 no! What a hangover. Oh, no. She's here. I'm supposed to go shopping with Judy for some clothes for those orphans. And I lost the money. What should I tell her? I don't have to explain anything to her. Come in.
I'm ready, Mrs. Mavilda.
We're not going to go shopping anymore.
What? Why not?
Because I said so.
But Mrs. Mavilda, I don't understand. The children are waiting for their new clothes. I already told them.
There is nothing for you to understand. Just go back to work. Wait, I hear the children playing now. Are they outside? I want to tell you something, and you better listen. I don't want the children playing outside anymore. You better make sure of that.
Because you don't want the mayor to see them without new clothes.
How can you dare to... All right! Now you know. And now that you know, you better make sure you don't tell him a thing, or you and your children are out in the cold. Now you go get those children back inside. And don't forget to tell them the good news about the clothes.
What are you going to do with the money?
The money is gone. Now, just get out of here. You give me a headache.
Poor little ones. This is going to break their hearts. Children, come here, please. All of you. Children, I know this is going to upset you, but I must tell you something. You know the new clothes we promised you? Well, I'm afraid you're not going to be getting them. I know, but there's nothing I can do about it. I have something else to say. You're not going to be allowed to play outside anymore unless Mrs. Mavilda says so.
Why? That's not fair, Mrs. Kindle.
Mrs. Hopewell isn't going to understand that. She's going to think we don't like her anymore.
Please, children, don't make it more difficult for me. I know how you feel. The only thing I can say is that it's not my idea.
I know who's really doing this. It's not Mrs. Kindle. Who? Mrs. Mavilda.
Judy can be really big trouble for me. She's starting to know too much. If one wrong word slips out of her mouth, the mayor will find things out. I have to get that woman out of here. She's changing everything around here. I gotta get rid of her. But how? The mayor's gonna ask me again. Especially since it's Judy. He's grown fond of her. I know! What if I make that good girl into a bad one? Yeah! I'll make her into a thief, just like I did with the girl that worked with me before. It worked beautifully. But this time, I'd better change it just a little. Let me call Mel for some help with this. Mel, I have a job for you.
What do you want?
Well, I have this girl who's working for me now. Mel, I gotta do something to get her out of here before it's too late. I told her that you have a package for me. I'm sending her over to pick it up. I know you don't have anything to give. Don't you understand that it's only a pretext? Shut up and listen and do as I say. Here's the plan. I want you to place something valuable in her purse while she's in your house picking up the package. That shouldn't be too difficult for you with your fast fingers, should it, Mel? Oh, come on, Mel. Now listen carefully. Make a package. I'm going to tell her you'll have one ready to pick up. Anything. Put anything you want inside. We have to make everything look real so she won't be suspicious.
After that, what should I do?
Wait for an hour and then call the police. Right. When you accuse her of stealing, the police will go after her. Stop her and search the car. They'll find the missing item in her possession and bingo, they'll arrest her. she'll never make it back here. And the mayor, yes. When he hears that his favorite lady is a thief, well, he'll just flip. She'll automatically be thrown out of the house. That tree is still gonna cause me a lot of trouble, as long as it's there. Those children are gonna want to be playing out there, especially with what that woman has built around it. I gotta get rid of it also. That's what I'm going to do next. Mel, how soon can you come over and chop this tree down? Good! We'll see you after Christmas, then. Soon I'll have those children back under my rules, just like before. And a warm fire in my room with plenty of new wood. Mavilda, old girl. Sometimes I don't realize just how brilliant you are.
Poor Mrs. Hopewell. I have to tell Mrs. Kendall.
Here's the address that you have to go to. Look for Mr. Mel Miller. He has everything waiting for you there. Please don't forget to thank him.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Let me say goodbye to the children.
No. There's no time for that. You must go now. Here is your coat and your car keys.
Mrs. Kendall, I need to tell you something.
Not now. She has to go.
Can you tell me when I get back?
No, I gotta tell you now.
She doesn't have the time now. Whatever it is, just tell me.
Yes, tell Mrs. Mavilda. She can help you. Well, I'll go now. Say goodbye to the little ones for me. See you before Christmas.
What is it that you need to tell?
I forget.
Are you sure? Tell me, little girl. Were you up there a while ago?
I forget.
You forgot? Okay. You may go now. Go on.
And that's what she said. She's going to do it.
Poor Mommy. What are we going to do, Pappy?
Mrs. Kendall's really in trouble. And there's nothing we could do to stop that mean witch.
So, that's what you think of me. I'll teach you how to stay behind doors listening to other people's conversations. Go to bed, right now.
You can't do that to my mother. You can't.
Shut up and do as I say.
But I'm hungry. We didn't have any dinner.
Listen here, you rascals. From now on, things are going to be different around here. You've been spoiled with that woman, but the good times are all over for you. No more Mrs. Kendall here, Mrs. Kendall there. I don't want to hear her name around here anymore. And for you, and you too, I'll make sure you get out of here too. Oh, yes. I forgot something. What is the name of your friend out there? Come on, tell me. I want to know your friend's name.
Why do you want to know if you're going to cut Mrs. Hopewell down?
Oh, I see. The little big mouth has already told you. I'm cutting her down for firewood.
Poor Mrs. Hopewell. We can't just stay here without doing something.
What can we do?
What about your mother? She's also in danger.
I don't worry about my mother because I know she can defend herself. But I'm really worried about Mrs. Hopewell because she hasn't got a chance with Mrs. Mavilda.
That's right. What about the mayor?
He could do something, but how can we get to him? The phone is in Mrs. Mavilda's bedroom. Somebody has to walk to the mayor's office.
Lily's right. At City Hall. Someone has to go there.
But who?
You, Pappy?
Why me?
Because you're the only one that knows where his office is. Remember when you came here with your parents? You guys came from there.
I guess you're right. Let me go out then. How am I gonna get out of here without Mrs. Mavilda seeing me?
Out the window, of course.
The window? Wait a minute. If Licorice is here, it's because he's hungry. And it's the same time he usually taps this window. That means it's 9 o'clock. If it's that late, the mayor has already gone home. And he won't be back until after Christmas.
Do you know where his house is?
No, I've never been there.
One time, I heard him saying he lived way far in the country.
We're never going to get help.
I know what's going to happen. Mrs. Kendall is going to be fired. She's going to go away and take Pappy and Lily with her.
You mean we're never gonna see them again?
That's right. We're never gonna see them again. We're gonna be all alone with Mrs. Mavilda.
And Mrs. Hopewell is gonna get cut down. She's gonna become firewood.
It's gonna be a pretty lonely Christmas. I wish that my Christmas wish could be changed. Santa, if you are listening, I want to change my wish. I don't have to get a new one for my teddy bear. Santa, I wish somehow you could save Mrs. Hopewell. What are you doing? I'm changing my Christmas wish. I'm asking Santa to save Mrs. Hopewell.
Santa's not gonna hear you. Nobody's gonna hear you. Miracles don't happen.
They do too when you wish them. Nope, with Mrs. Mavilda in charge, Mrs. Hopewell doesn't have a chance.
Don't say that. Mom said when you really, really wish hard, your wish can come true. She says to look up in the stars because they are the messengers of Christmas wishes.
Is that true? Can I change my wish too? Santa, you know that bike I wished for? Well, you can take it back. I don't really need it. What I need is a wish to save Mrs. Hopewell.
I want my wish the same, too.
I think it's too late for our wishes to be changed.
You mean you don't think our star is going to make it on time?
Yes, it's no use. Wait a minute. What if one of us goes to him?
But where are we and where is his house? Look here in my book. It shows that we're not far from his house. We can do it.
Where is his house?
Right here at the North Pole. But I don't know where the North Pole is. Do you?
I don't.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
He knows where the North Pole is.
He does? See that sled out there? We can attach a rope to Licorice to pull it. Then we just let him go and he'll take us to the North Pole himself.
It's our only chance.
Mrs. Mavilda is coming. She's gonna catch us out of bed.
Pappy, you gotta go now.
What? Go where?
To get help from Santa Claus.
Why me?
Why? No time for questions.
Licorice is still here.
Quick, Licorice, under the bed.
I could almost swear I heard that dog barking here. Oh, if I catch that dog in here, these kids will be really sorry.
Come on, old pal. Okay, I'm ready. I got some blankets for me and Licorice. Let's go, boy.
Good luck, Pappy.
And be careful.
Goodbye.
We got a bad accident here, ma'am. You're not going to be able to get through.
But I must get through. I have...
I'm sorry, but you got to turn around and go back. Merry Christmas, ma'am.
Merry Christmas.
Who's that? Who's in there? You?
It's me, Pappy. Don't be mad, Pappy. I just had to come. We can look after each other. Santa will listen to me. And besides, I brought the food. Look!
How did you get that?
I just went to the kitchen.
And Mrs. Mavilda didn't catch you?
Not when you go through the window.
But you shouldn't have come, Lily. Mrs. Mavilda's gonna find out. When there's more than one kid gone, it's harder to hide it.
I'm sorry, Pappy. I couldn't let my brother come alone.
I guess you're right. It's better being with someone when it's a long way. Let's go, Licorice. Actually, your coming along was a good idea. Lily. Look at that sign. North Pole ahead.
I guess we're on the right track, Pappy.
Let's go, Licorice.
Come on, Licorice, run!
Lily, what are we gonna do?
Help me, Pappy, help me.
Lily, quick, take my hand. Lily, Lily's gone, Licorice. She's gone. I can't find her. Oh, Licorice, what should we do? Lily, where are you? Where'd you go?
Oh, it's so good to be back home. I missed you all so much. Where's Lily and Pappy? What's the matter? Are you hiding something?
Pappy and Lily aren't here.
Where are they?
Lily, Pappy, and Licorice went to the North Pole. They have to find Santa Claus before he leaves for Christmas.
He has to help us save Mrs. Hopewell.
I don't understand.
Mrs. Mavilda wants to cut down Mrs. Hopewell. Be careful, Mrs. Kindle. Mrs. Mavilda is planning something mean to get you out of here. I don't want you or Lily or Pappy to go.
I must talk to Mrs. Mavilda.
Mrs. Mavilda is furious.
You are the responsible one for all of this. If you hadn't put so much junk into their minds, they wouldn't be causing me trouble.
Help me find them, please.
Help you? How can you dare ask me for help? If the mayor finds out about this, I'm really in trouble. He's gonna blame me and I'm gonna lose my job. You have caused enough trouble. I'm sick and tired of your children in that tree. Pack your things right now. You're fired. I don't want to see your face another minute. Get out! Hello, Frank? Do you still have that electric chainsaw of yours? Good. I have a little job for you tonight. I know it's Christmas Eve, but I will pay you really well. Good. I'll see you later then. These children are gonna have their best Christmas present yet. Get back into that house! house at once, or I'll thrash you one by one.
Please, mister, don't cut Mrs. Hopewell.
I'm sorry, children, but I have to do this job.
Okay, then, stay and watch. Come on, Frank, hurry up.
That does it. Come, children.
What do you think you're doing?
Nobody cuts Mrs. Hopewell until we talk to the mayor.
Get away from that tree, right now. Frank, turn on that machine and do the job.
But they're surrounding the tree.
Do as I say. Those fools will move away. Show them the saw.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, Mr. Mayor, we're so glad to see you. You couldn't have come at a better time.
Oh, the mayor?
Turn that thing off. I can't hear a thing.
I just want you to know that this wasn't my idea, Mr. Mayor.
What are you talking about? Can someone explain to me why all of you are out in the middle of this snow on Christmas Eve?
Mommy, Mommy!
But where's Lily? Where is she?
She's gone, Mommy.
Oh, God, what do you mean? Ray.
Tell me, son, what happened to Lily?
She fell from a cliff, Mommy, Daddy. All the way down. And I couldn't find her anymore.
My baby.
James, hurry! Tell the sheriff to get a rescue party going right away. We must find the little girl. Tell me, child, why did you do a crazy thing like that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, but we had to do something before Mrs. Mavilda cut down Mrs. Hopewell.
She's gonna Mrs. Mavilda's so mean.
Wait a second, one at a time. Why don't you explain all this to me, Mrs. Kindle?
Well, Mrs. Hopewell is this pine tree, a tree that has become important for the children. You know, Mr. Mayor, the children felt very lonely without a grown-up around to give them love and guide them through their difficult times. That's why they created an imaginary friend, making the tree Mrs. Hopewell someone they could talk to, someone who was always there to listen. When the children discovered that Mrs. Mavilda was going to cut down their friend, why, they had to think of something. Mrs. Hopewell is everything to them, their playground, their companion.
Wait a minute, hold it. What happened with the money that I've been donating? Why didn't Mavilda buy toys for them? And look at them. They look like they haven't had new clothes in years. What if the inspector were to come?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I think Mrs. Mavilda is the only one that can explain it to you.
Where is she?
She was around here a minute ago.
Mrs. Mavilda, wherever you are, I want you in my office first thing tomorrow. You have a lot to explain to me. You'd better be there.
Mr. Mayor, tell her not to cut Mrs. Hopewell.
Don't worry about that, little one. Your tree, Mrs. Hopewell is going to be all right.
That's what you think, children.
Seize that woman.
Stand back, you fool.
Oh, no.
What happened?
I don't know. She got struck by lightning.
What's that?
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody!
So glad to see you.
I missed all of you, Mommy.
He missed you too.
Look! Teddy's got a new arm.
Look, Santa's leaving.
Peace be with you all. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ho, 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 ho.
everybody? This tree here, I declare it part of city property. Therefore, it will stay standing as long as it lives. I hereby proclaim this tree here, I mean Mrs. Hopewell, our official city Christmas tree. And you, Judy, I offer you the job of being in charge of the orphanage. That is, if you care to accept.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I would be more than honored.
Wait a minute. You can't take this job. That's right, because you'll be busy helping me raise 9 children.
9 children? But Ray, we only have 2 children. Do you mean that?
Yes. From now on, they are going to have a father and a mother.
Oh, Ray, I'm the happiest person in the world. Please come with us. Let's have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Well, I guess this town is going to have the best Christmas ever. Lily and Pappy are back safe. The other children have themselves a mom and a dad. Ray and Judy got themselves the job of running the orphanage for all children to come. The mayor got his town decorated, and Mrs. Mavilda, well, Mrs. Mavilda, she's going to be all right. From what I've heard, she went back to work in the orphanage as Judy's assistant. Well, don't worry about Mrs. Mavilda. She's good now. She learned that you always win when you are good. Merry Christmas, everybody.